Hello friend, are you looking for a beginner's progression guide for Palworld? Well, look no further, cause this video aims to bring you through all the things you should be doing for a smooth first playthrough. I'm Zuzukorn and I aim to entertain, encourage, and offer you a place to call home, so subscribe now and join the Zuzukorn family. Let's begin. This video series will be split into different progression points in Palworld. For the very first video, I'll cover all you need to know for levels 1 to 10 in Palworld and the basics of setting up your base. I don't aim to provide you with the most optimized way to play or the perfect setups, but instead I'll walk you through how to do the things you're supposed to be doing so that you can figure out the nitty-gritty stuff all for yourself. First of all, launch the game and make a new world. I would recommend you to go with the default settings for your first playthrough so you can experience what the game has to offer as the devs intended. Once you get more experience, you can adjust the settings to your liking. There's nothing wrong with doing that, by the way. You can play however you want, but I'll just go with a default world for now. Just set up your character to your liking and let's go. You'll start out your Palworld journey washed up on a beach with some strange creatures surrounding you. At the same time, a very Zelda-esque cutscene plays before you finally get to dip your toes into the game. Walk out of this temple-like thing and unlock fast travel at the Great Eagle statue right in front of you. Head over and talk to this guy on the right and he'll give you his wood. 10 free wood. The goal now is to gather what we need and move over to our first base location. You can pretty much base anywhere, including near the spawn point, but there's a base location I strongly recommend, so just hold off that for a bit. To enhance your stats, open the menu and choose which stat you want to enhance. I'd recommend throwing a bunch of points into stamina for now, because we are going to be doing a lot of running. Pick up all the wood, stone and palladium you can find. Make sure you pick red berries too for food, and also so we can get the seeds required for our very own berry farms. Once you've gathered a bunch of stuff, build a primitive workbench, then craft an axe, a pickaxe, a wooden club, and a torch. Also, note that in the technology tab in the menu here, you can spend technology points to unlock new crafting recipes. I'll go over which recipes you need exactly when the time comes, but at this point you can just see what catches your eye. At this point, I don't really recommend making Pal Spheres, as you don't really need to catch anything right now, and you're better off picking Pal Spheres from the ground. I'd say it's better to just save your resources now. To the left, there is also this green glowing thing. This is a Lift Monk effigy, which you need to boost your capture power, so make sure you always grab one when you see one. Once you've gotten a couple of Pal Spheres off the ground, I'd recommend you to catch a Cativa. These are simple to catch and passively boost your carrying capacity by 50. Just hit it to lower its health, then throw a Pal Sphere. It should be pretty much a guaranteed catch. Capturing pals will give you lots of EXP, so try to do that as far as you can. Also, grab all the chests you find. Generally, what we want to do now is head down the starting hill. I was really fortunate here and managed to find a lucky Cativa. Lucky pals are basically shinies, which have boosted stats and are usually much stronger. Make sure you summon the pals you've already caught to fight the new ones. It's really easy to die in this game if you get targeted right on. And there we go, a free lucky Cativa. Now grab the Great Eagle statue at the bottom of the hill, then come over to this side. There's another Lift Monk effigy across the water. Now we'll be heading over to our base location, which is a decent walk from here. The next enemy I'd recommend you to catch is a Foxsparx. My lucky Cativa here is really strong, so this is actually a lot smoother than usual. For some reason, it has this Thunderbolt skill, and it just destroys all the enemies. Also, to make sure that your pals don't just kill the thing that you want to catch, recall it after it lowers down the target's health. I didn't do that here because I underestimated my Foxsparx damage, so this Pangullet just died. I'd recommend you to catch one of these if you come across one, but if not, it's not a big deal now. The new Tides of Terraria update also brought with it new quests, and this lady here wants you to deliver a meal to some guard at a nearby settlement. That's not really on the way to our new base location, so we'll just hold on to this for now. There's another Lift Monk effigy here, so grab that and move on. Now once you're past the gate, you want to turn right and go up this hill. If you see the tower in the distance, then you're on the right track. There is this row of lamb balls and Cativas for some reason, and they're pretty aggressive, But I guess it's a good reason to catch a couple of them if you have the spheres to spare. Every repeat of a Pal that you catch gives you bonus EXP until your 12th one, so this will be the main way to level up in this game. If you come across any Vixies, make sure to catch them. These are amazing Pals and are going to help us generate more Pal spheres in the early game. Head over to the tower and grab the fast travel point here at its base. We'll be following this path up north. On the top of this hill you'll find a syndicate camp. These are the bad guys, they're Team Rocket. They're usually fighting something like this Nightwing here, so you can just take advantage of them and kill them and then take their loot. Am I strong enough to catch this Nightwing? No, I am not. Run away! Okay, let's try that again. The syndicate guys aren't really a problem here because they are pretty weak, and there's a free Pal in the middle of the base, so just go ahead and release it and say hello to your new friend. Now, to the right of the base, there is a wind boost jump thing that they've added in the recent update. Use that to boost yourself up, then just follow the rocks. There's another Liftmonk effigy here to the right if you want to jump across this small chasm. Just grab that and jump back because what we're after is on this side. Just keep going and you'll see a bridge in the distance on your right. Our base spot is right here. And we're here. This spot has an amazing 7 ore veins. And a Liftmonk. Come here. Don't forget to recall your Pal. Okay, got it. Liftmonks are very useful at this point because of all the things that they can do, so catch one if you can. Anyway, back to the base. We will need lots of ore in the early to mid game, and even though we can't do anything much with them right now, you really appreciate having access to so much ore later on. Unlock the Pal box in your research tab, then put it down in the middle of all your ore. A Pal box is basically a Pal PC that also serves as the center point of your base. It also serves as a fast teleport point to all the Great Eagle statues. Cativas have the handiwork skill, so if you summon a Cativa, it will help you build stuff, which is really great. Build a campfire for some light and also for some cooking. At this point, we will need to start unlocking things in the technology tab. Importantly, get the Pal beds, cloth, the common shield, the cloth outfit, the feed box, and a few other things. But don't worry about it, you know what to research after I tell you what we need to build. Using your Pal box, you can also place Pals in your base, then they will roam around and help you with work. For example, I'll put down a Foxsparks which has the kindling skill. This means that it can help to cook all the berries that I want. This is very important though. Do not put any wood foundations here near the ores. When foundations are too close to the ores will just despawn and just won't come back. We will need lots of space for our base and we can build upwards at the side, so don't worry about space. Make sure you always build structures around the ores. So like I said, there's actually plenty of space for you to build upwards on the rocks on the right side here. You can start with some foundations at the far back of the base, then build some stairs leading upwards to the top of the rocks. Just make sure you use roofs around this one ore vein here. Roofs won't affect it, but foundations will. Otherwise, you can just put foundations all the way until it tells you that it's out of range. I'll leave it to you to figure out how to build things yourself. Also, if you need more wood, you can just throw out a Liftmonk to help you chop the trees. If you want, you can even build another set of stairs to this higher area and use all of this free real estate. So just do what you can to expand outwards so that you have plenty of space to build things like ranches and berry farms. You might also want to build a repair bench so you can repair your tools and armors, and then build a shoddy bed to progress your base level. This has to be built on a foundation and below a roof. It's not that difficult, so just set it up. Though we won't be using this bit all that much because you can now sleep in Pal beds, but I guess the game still wants you to make one, so just acquiesce and move on. Gather the materials for a Pal bed and then build a couple of them. You need one bed for each Pal in your base. I'll just build a couple cause the first few base levels go pretty fast and you'll get lots of Pals pretty quickly. Remember to let your Pals, do all the work. Also, set up a feed box. Your Pals will be able to visit the feed box and eat the food that you place in there. For now, roasted berries are good enough to keep them full and happy. Why hello! Gotcha. Also, I just realized that my Kativa has Artisan, which boosts his work speed, and also Mercy Hit, which won't reduce the target's HP below 1. This is really helpful for catching pals, especially since it has this OP broken Thunderbolt skill. Moral of the story, read your pal skills and see what they can do in your base. Now let's gather materials for a logging site and build one in our base. The logging site allows your pals to generate unlimited wood, so once you have this set up, you don't ever need to go and cut down trees on your own anymore. Remember to level up your base so you can place more pals. Next, set up 2 berry plantations. You need a watering pal and a planting and gathering pal. The Pangullet here would be great for watering, and the Lift Monk can do both planting and gathering, and can also transport the berries into a chest. So build a chest nearby so they don't have to walk too far to store them. For now, we don't have much wood, so I want my Lift Monk to focus on generating some. To do this, we can just carry our pal and throw them at the logging site to assign them there. The next thing we need is a stone pit. We're going to need a lot more rocks, so head over to this fast travel point just below the hill. There's a pretty good number of rocks here. Oh hey, a Tombat! This is great luck. Tombats are one of the great pals that we need. It has level 2 mining, so it will generate lots of stone for us. It's pretty common and can be found in this area at night. Okay, I scuffed that. And that too. Oh, I've only got one left though. Are we going to clutch this with 20%? Okay, nice, we got it. I've been really lucky today. Right, we get cold cause we're naked. Okay, we can just sleep back in the base to pass the night and mine for rocks the next day. As a reminder, remember to load up with Kativas to boost your carrying weight. You can also assign Kativas to mine for you like this, so that things are nice and efficient. Okay, we've gotten some stone and now we're back at base. Let's set up the stone pit right next to the logging site. And then I'll assign the Tombat to start mining stuff. Now, for the next really important thing to set up, let's build a ranch. Once we have the ranch, we can start putting Vixies down to help us generate free Pal Spheres. This will help us save resources for the early game, because Pal Spheres are relatively expensive. Now that that's done, let's finally put down our Vixie and assign it to the ranch. Hello? Any moment now. Thank you. Get in there. No. You mine stone. This will be a problem for now, at least until we get the monitoring stand. That allows us to assign pals to specific jobs. I'll also set up a chest here right next to the ranch so that my transporting pals can easily put ranch loot into a chest. Okay, we've done quite a lot today. The last thing I want to do is set up a crusher. We're going to need more Paldium, so I'll come over to that same starting area. There's quite a lot of Paldium here, so knock yourself out. I might as well also take the opportunity to have a look at this Syndicate camp again. And as you can see, they're pretty stupid, so you can just run in and take the free Pal without much issue. This time we have a Jolthawk Christ, which is pretty nifty. Look how adorable he is. Let's see how our resource generation is doing. Not so much wood, but over 100 stone. Awesome! Building a chest right here is also great, because you'll usually be over encumbered after taking your hundreds of wood and stone. With a chest, you can just dump it all in right away. I'll also be changing chest permissions so that pals won't put random stuff in here. Since we have the stone, let's make a statue of power to level up our base. With all the Lift Monk effigies we've gotten, that should be enough to raise our capture power. Since we have the ranch set up, we might as well get some cloth going too. Head over to the starting area once again for some lamb balls. And by the way, there is a chest right here once you drop down. It's always great to get free stuff. My Vixie has also gotten me a bunch of Pal Spheres for free, so you can just catch whatever you want here to level up. Lamb balls are great for wool, and chickpeas are great for eggs. Do not hit the Memorest. I know you want to, but just don't. I mean, you could try it and just die. We also want to be looking for these deers. These are amazing for generating wood thanks to their level 2 logging skill. This is exceedingly easy because of my Kativa, but these guys usually put up quite a fight at this level. If you want, you can make a bow to help you out. Vixies also generate arrows at the ranch, so you don't have to worry about ammo. Now that that's done, place down your deer and make some cloth. Craft a common shield while you're at it, and also a parachute. How is my precious Vixie doing? Look at that, we've got an additional 7 Pal spheres. Perfect! Build your Pal gear workbench with the cloth. This workstation lets you build Pal gear, which unlocks stuff like riding pals and special partner skills. It also gives us a nice level up for our base. The only thing left is the crusher. The parachute is a game changer by the way, cause you can just jump down wherever without worrying about dying. While gathering Paldium for the crusher, I also noticed this low-flying Nightwing. I wonder if my Cativa is strong enough now. Yup, yes he is. Gotcha! Nightwings are a great first flying mount by the way once you get the Nightwing saddle at the Pal gear workbench, but I recommend holding off on that a little cause we can get a better flying mount almost right away. Alright, finally the last thing for today, a crusher. This marvelous machine allows us to crush wood into fiber and rocks into Paldium. So once we have this going, we don't need to mine Paldium anymore. At this point, we've got a level 7 base. I'll put down the land ball so that we can get some cloth for armor and stuff. And we're getting invaded for some reason, which is pretty annoying. But not to worry because the Syndicate people are kind of dumb and they can't really reach us. Anyway, that's that. You make easy work of them. In the meantime, our land ball has finally produced some wool, so let's make some cloth and the cloth outfit. There we go, we are finally no longer naked and vulnerable. We're a solid level 10 now and have achieved a pretty great start. We've come to a great base spot, set up our foundation so that we have space to build, set up a ranch, pal beds, a feed box and berry farms. With this alone, our base is pretty much self-sufficient. Not only that, we've gotten the logging site and stone pit set up, and gotten great level 2 loggers and miner pals to generate all the wood and stone we need. We don't ever need to go out and get more by ourselves now. We've also leveled up our base quite a bit, have a bunch of pals working for us, and we finally have clothes to wear. As one final disclaimer though, I just want to be clear here that you don't have to rush all the things I did here today, and it's fine if you're level 20 or something by the time you set all of this up. Just take your time and enjoy the game. You also don't have to do things perfectly. Things might not be pretty, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just make sure that you do set up these things eventually, so that you have a solid start. Feel free to rewatch the video a couple of times as well, if you need reminders on what to do. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon too, for more Palworld and other stuff. Stay tuned for levels 10 to 20 as well. Or if it gets a bit too overwhelming, maybe I'll do a level 10 to 15 instead. Let me know what you prefer down in the comments. This has been Zuzucorn. Have a nice day, and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.